This is the 49 Carats Prospect Spotlight. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the 49 Carats Prospect Spotlight, where you get a chance to learn more about NFL draft hopefuls. I'm Steph Sanchez. With me today is James Madison, defensive lineman, Jamree Kromah. How you doing today, Jamree?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me. How you doing?
I'm great as well, and excited to have you on today and learn more about your journey and how
Mhm.
everything's going for you so far in this process. But I do want to start off, talking about your college years a little bit here, because you started your collegiate career at Rutgers before transferring to James Madison. Tell us about that journey and why transferring at that point in time felt like the right move for you.
All right. Start with Rutgers. I got there 2018, and then got there my freshman year. Knew I wasn't ready for college football. I had to like develop my body and everything else. And then the following year, 2019 season, just more like my learning year. Took advantage of the opportunities. And there was a lot of adversity, not like with me, but like with the program, like head coach Chris Ash getting fired and everything else. Then that's when being under another coaching staff when Coach Yano came in for the 2020 season. With that COVID season, felt like it was going to be like a breakout season for me. But then that's when like I had a ankle injury my first game, and then later on I tried to come back and then re-aggravate my ankle, and then I just pretty much missed like the whole season. And for my last season at Rutgers, it was just like the mindset, just take advantage of every opportunity that they give me, make the most of it, get everything the best I have. And I did exactly that. But I felt like after the season ended, uh, what led to me like transferring to James Madison is I feel like I had more to give. I had more left, to give to the game of football. And I just felt like for me, I wanted to reach like a whole different level for myself as a football player. And I just felt like I just wasn't able to reach that kind of level at Rutgers. So I just felt like I'd rather just do that at a different school because I really want to grow as a football player and then want to look back to say that I wish I could have done this, I wish I could have done that. Nothing against Rutgers or anything, but it's just like more for myself to, put myself in the best situation possible to say that I have a shot for the NFL. Because being at Rutgers, I can't say I had a shot for the NFL because I didn't do enough to say I have a shot. So that's what led
Right.
to me like making the decision. It was a tough decision, but sometimes when you look
Right.
at tough decisions, it ends up being like the best decision for you long term and it benefits you. So that's why I made the decision to enter the portal. And then when I entered the portal, I've been looking at James Madison. The schools offered me, and then the way that things was looking for me, I said James Madison was a school. And when I took the visit, it was a no-brainer for me to commit and lock it in with James Madison University.
Well, I'm sure you have no regrets about that decision at this point because you had a hell of a final season at JMU. You played all 13 games. I know how big it is to have health on your side.
Yeah,
You finished with four tackles or more in 8 of those 13 games. You had at least 1.5 tackles for loss in 7 games, and
yeah.
at least one sack in 7 games as well. 11 total on the season. To top it all off, you were selected first team in the All Sun Belt Conference, right? Was
Yeah.
there first? How did it feel to be named first team in your conference?
I mean, it felt great. That was one of my goals that I wanted to achieve for that season because I felt like I could have got all conference the previous season, but like some things don't go your way, but it just gives you more motivation, adds more fuel to the fire to go even harder, and then don't be left out. Like have them not have second thoughts or like doubt you at all, or like say just leave them out. So like just no brainer for me to get first team on conference, and that's what the colleges and like the coaches and the teams made a decision for.
Was there a year in college where you felt like everything started to click for you, things started to slow down a bit?
Yeah, I say more like my first year at James Madison. I say like more like in the back half of the season, the second half of the season, where I ended up getting like my first career start. Started multiple games that first year towards the end of the season, and things that I was doing, I started seeing things different. So like the way that I finished out the season, going to that off season, going to my following year, like my final season, that's when I know I had to go even harder. I have a clear direction where I want to go to and things that I need to do to get better. So, talk to my coaches, like my position coach, my defensive coordinator, talk to the strength coach, to talk to them, and they let me know the things I need to do to get better so I could take my game to another level.
Yeah, and I know there were years where, like, you weren't an immediate starter. You kind of had to fight for a bigger role. You got
Yeah,
that role eventually at JMU. Um, how have those experiences shaped you and who you are as a player today? Because like when you go into the NFL, like you're going to be facing a similar scenario, right? Where you're going to have to
yeah,
fight for that opportunity. So how do you
yeah.
feel like that shaped your career?
I say like number one thing is mindset. Gotta have your mind right mentally. You can't let anything bother you. Gotta have a clear mind. But also, it's like just patience is everything. Everyone's time is different, but once you keep on working hard, doing what you need to do, eventually at some point in time, something have to give.
Yeah, that is definitely the right mindset to have. Um, and as far as your play goes on the defensive line, like you've shown a lot of positional versatility, having
Yeah.
played both in the interior and as an end. Do you have a personal preference between the two? Like where do you see yourself at the next level?
I mean, me being a player that plays multiple positions, if I had to pick one, I would say defensive end, be on the edge. I play edge longer than I play interior D lineman because I really didn't start playing interior D lineman until like my later years in college. So if I had to pick, definitely like defensive end, be on the edge. And then it's like if you want to put me in the third down package, you can slide me inside.
Yeah, and you definitely produce like no matter where you lined up in college. So I'm sure a team is gonna love to have that. Have you heard any feedback from teams of like where they kind of envision you for their team?
Yeah, so like talking to the teams, it just pretty much gave me the confirmation like where they see me at. So I asked them that same question and said that if they looking at me as a defensive end, be on the edge player.
Okay. And I'm sure that's good to know too, because then that probably, helps for your training, what to
Yeah.
kind of focus on and all that. So it's good to have that answer, early in the process. Now, when it comes to film study, what are some things that you look for in an opponent that you try to like, take advantage of in a game?
All right, so I'll just say give you like the whole rundown how I prepare for a game.
Let's do it.
So let's say like the game is over, right? So like usually like being in college, I'll like get the grades the next day, watch the film myself, look at the grades and the comments that my position coach wrote down for me. Then it's like the next day we watch film as a position group, watch the mistakes, watch the good things, and then we all transition to that next opponent, the new opponent. So when I transition to the new opponent and start to watch film on those guys, I have two ways that I watch film. So or like two approaches. My first approach is get a feel what they like to do as an offense, whether it's like 11 personnel, 10 personnel, whatever kind of like system they like to run. Then you kind of
Mhm.
see what plays they like to run on down the distance, like running plays, whether it's like inside zone, outside zone, stretch, or like what kind of like, how they pass the ball, like things they like doing the down the distances. And you can see like, are they like a dedicated type of offense where they trying to see what coverage they in and they look to the sideline and if they get once they turn away from the sideline, they go on and snap the ball, just different things like that. What they like to run most of the time, what they least like to run. And once I get a good feel of that, then I go to my second approach, which is studying the old lineman. So like studying the old lineman, like looking at his stance, like what's his strengths, what's his weaknesses, things that he could get beat with. Then you look at, okay, is he a tight hands type of guy, or does he like leave his chest open? Does he let people get to his chest? Like
Mhm.
pass rushing, like does he have fast feet? Does he have slow feet? Or like when he gets in his running stance, are his stance much more wider? Or if you get in the passing stance, is his stance much more like narrow? Or like does he turn his back foot, to get like a good push kicking, like, doing his kick step? And then it's like you can see if he's a high hands type of guy, he a low hands type of guy. So it's like if you go high hands, I go like double swipe or like stab club. If he's a low hands type of guy, I could go like cross chop or like speed chop or like swap chop like with the low hands. And then it's like also like the eyes too. Like if he's looking at you, then it's like he's working towards you. But if he's looking away, that means he's working away from you. Then it's like you could tell like with the old lineman like which way they're gonna slide to. They usually slide away from the running back, like pointing to direction or like they ID the linebacker, or they do different kind of like show different kind of sides like which way they're gonna slide protect, which way they're gonna do 5-0 or like anything else was like any
Mhm.
communication like with the tackle or like the guard, they could show like they about to pass or like the center like look down, then look up, he's about to snap the ball. Or you try to see like how did the quarterback operate within that offense. So those are my two approaches to watching film, getting ready for a team, for an opponent.
I love it. That's so in depth, and like as fans, there's a lot of things like we don't often see or are like just privy to how you guys prepare. But it seems like if you're doing all that preparing, nothing in the game really surprises you because you've already seen it, right? So
Yeah,
uh,
most definitely though.
yeah, it definitely helps you out. Now you participated at the Shrine Bowl. That's big, man. So congrats on that.
Thank you.
Um, how did it feel to get that invite?
It felt great. I just had to play the waiting game and be patient because, like, during the season, I heard some things about me being on the watch list, like this different type of waves. They have like the first wave, second wave.
Mhm.
So I just had to be patient. I knew for a fact that I could play in that All Star game. So I just pretty much manifested, spoke things to existence. And then, like, before the East West Shrine, I also got the Hula Bowl invite. But since I got the East West Shrine before going to Orlando, I ended up taking advantage of the East West Shrine, so getting more time to prepare. But once I got the East West Shrine, I was definitely excited because like I manifested and spoke things to existence, and also like I give thanks to the Almighty High, God, and that's God.
I love it. Yeah, the Hula Bowl is also, pretty big. I know a lot of teams attend that as well. And, you get to go up against a lot of great players who are also, draft hopefuls just like you. Now, from an iron sharpens iron standpoint, was there anyone you went up against, in those throughout that week that, you especially enjoyed going up against? Was like a challenge for you?
I mean, like with some guys, it was just like iron sharp as iron. I gave them good competition, gave me good competition. So it was just like in a way, we just got each other better, and we're all there, at the East West Shrine for a reason. And it's like this the stuff that we're doing isn't normal. So it's like, during the practices, we just got each other better and took advantage of the opportunity. But I feel like for me, I did a very good job in the practices and also did well in the game. And feel like I represented my school, James Madison University, the right way, and especially like being like one of four people in program history to be invited to an All Star game to that kind of caliber level.
Yeah, that's big, like I said. And I know the Shrine Bowl like sets up time for, all the players to get to meet with like all the 32 teams. That
Yeah.
of course is a good opportunity for you to meet teams and then teams to get to know you. Was there any like conversations that stood out to you while you were there?
Like a lot of teams, it was like some teams that was like some great conversations. Uh, and then there was other teams that was trying to get to know me. Just asking me general questions based on the stuff that I've done in the practices. But it
Mhm.
was definitely some great conversations with multiple teams, like all over. And there was some conversations, like I said before, they were just asking me general questions.
Now, is there any defensive scheme you think you're a best fit for or that you prefer to play in?
Yeah, so if I had to pick a scheme, it would definitely be forefront defense. I feel like with me hanging a dirt type of guy, being on the edge, five technique, I feel like I really excel on that kind of scheme and show a lot of my abilities and the things that I can do.
Okay, well, and, the 49ers play 4-3, so just saying, it wouldn't shock me if they were interested in you, just saying. But your pro day is approaching. I'm sure you've been, busy training for that. So, what's a typical training day looking like for you right now?
All right, so I give you the whole rundown for that week. So like Monday we'll do like, we do like speed work, work on technique before getting ready for the 40, and then we lift. Um, then it's like Tuesday we work on like technique for like like the 5-10-5 the shuttle. Sorry about that. Then we work out. Then it's like that Wednesday we'll have a recovery day, but also like do some things like active recovery. There's like Thursdays like speed work, like max velocity. There's like that Friday we'll work on like the 3 cone technique, and then we'll also lift. And then oh, like that Thursday we have like position work, and then that weekend we also have position work. So all those things that we have over there just going to help us be well prepared, whether it's like the combine or the pro day.
So the NFL Combine, invitees were announced. Uh, I don't were you were on the list because I saw like people were saying you were snubbed, and I'm like, yeah, like if you didn't make it, you're definitely snubbed.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, I wasn't on the list, but it doesn't affect me. It's not the end of the world because I can still make things happen even with just being a pro day guy.
I definitely agree. So how are you using that extra juice to kind of like prove yourself in that pro day and put up like crazy numbers for your pro day?
I would say like with that, it just gives me more time, and it's like once I do take care of business pro day, put up great numbers. They, the teams that not say like teams, the people who make the decision to invite certain players to come to the combine, they're gonna look back and be like, I wish I should have did this, I wish I should have did that. But like I said, for me, not getting an invite it's not the end of the world. It
Hmm.
just gives me more time to prepare for my pro day and be well prepared to do great things.
I love it. I could tell you're always looking at the positive in things, and I just love that mindset from you. Um, Aside from testing numbers, like, is there anything else that you've kind of like self-identified as something you want to improve on before the draft?
I say like show that I could move, whether it's like change of direction, great change of direction, or like if they want me to open up wherever the case is, like do any kind of drills. Just make sure that I'm able to do every single drill they throw at me and do it the best of my abilities and leave a great impression.
A few of your teammates also declared for the draft, including your defensive line mate, Jalen Green.
Yeah.
Have you guys stayed in touch throughout this process so far? Like any exchanging of advice?
Yeah, we definitely stay in touch. I mean, we talked recently, asked how he's doing, and he asked for the same. He asked the same thing, vice versa. So he's doing good within his process, and I told him the same thing. They're doing good, and it's just like one day at a time. You can't stress about stuff. You gotta know that it's not a sprint; it's a marathon. So you can't like I said, you can't stress yourself out, beat yourself up because at the end of the day, you get one shot at this. So you might as well just take advantage of the opportunity, embrace it, and leave it all out there because once it's gone, it's gone.
And I know we talked about like, the training that you're doing right now, that takes up most of your week, most of your day. What are you doing with your me time? How are you, relaxing when you have time for yourself?
I think like the work that we do over at the facility that I'm training at. The number one thing for me is that after I'm finished like doing what I have to do at the facility, like the extra work and like the recovery, definitely love to get off my feet. Like relax, maybe watch a couple shows, then get on phone calls, talk to family. But also it's like sometimes I'll just like sit down and just go over like other things that have me be prepared for teams, like for pro day, even after pro day.
I love it. What shows are you watching right now? What's in the rotation?
So it's a French show right now.
Okay.
It's not really old, but it's like a few years back. It's called Lupin. So I've been watching that. It's pretty good.
Okay. All right. What is that on? I haven't heard of that one.
It's on Netflix. And then like I
Okay.
got um what was I about to say, like the 50 Cent shows like Raising Canaan or Power or those other kind of shows. So it's been experience watching those shows.
Nice, nice. Well, I always end my interviews with this question. What would a team, what would a fan base be getting with Jamree Kromah, both on and off the field?
I'll say I'm a good guy off the field. and I'm a dog. And I know that's a quick answer, but if you want me to go in detail, if you're getting a guy that's going to come in, take care of business, handle business, be a professional, go in there, not just do what you have to do, also do the things that he wants to do, like having a will to put in the extra time, go in there, be a sponge, take advantage of the opportunity, be coachable, be around the vets, and like learn from them, and then like just embrace everything that's happening and just be willing to learn every day and just leave it all out there so that when I look back, I don't have any regrets. But definitely gonna get a guy that's gonna leave everything out there and gonna be maximizing his capabilities and his opportunities to be the best that he could be.
I love it. I mean, I could just tell from the short interview, like the personality's jumping out at me, and I think a team would definitely, be lucky to have you. I've seen the tape too, man, and you are a dog on the field as well. So definitely appreciate you coming on this show today, taking the time to speak with me, and good luck. These next few months. Remind me when your pro day is.
Yeah, my pro day is March 19th,
All right,
so
March
less than a month
19th.
from now.
Less than a month, man. The countdown begins. So,
Mhm.
yeah, definitely going to be checking in on that and seeing how you do. But, definitely good luck in these next few months.
Thank you.
And for those of you that tuned in, appreciate it. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you have not yet. There'll be a lot more Prospect Spotlight interviews just like this one. So if you like it, make sure you hit that notification bell so you know when I go live. But for now, appreciate it. Have a good rest of your Wednesday, folks. Peace.
Thanks for having me.